Well, you have Jesus giving a prophecy. So a skeptic says, well, first of all, you can't be a prophet. There's no such thing as prophecy. So the Matthew 24 has to be, the Olivet Discourse has to be written by somebody much later, after the events of AD 70. So you have to be ready to answer that objection. Then the skeptic will go to a passage like Matthew 24:34 and says, "This generation will not pass away until all these things take place." And you say, "Well, that generation passed away, and all those things didn't take place." And you have to be ready to answer that. And if you watch the Hitchens-Wilson debate on the collision, which Darren was involved in, and I was one of the producers on that, Hitchens brings that very question up as an attack on the authority of the Bible. And it only took Doug Wilson a minute or two to deal with that by saying, no, everything Jesus said did in fact take place before that generation passed away. The eschatological elements of that chapter are right out of the Old Testament, sun, moon, and stars, and judgments and so forth, typical of judgment language on nations. And I think Hitchens was really caught off guard because he's probably used to people saying, "Oh, it's not this generation, it's this race, and you have to go through that." And then they'll say, "Well, it means a generation that sees these signs, or there's this double fulfillment." See, Doug didn't do any of that. He got right to the heart of the issue. No, whatever Jesus said this was going to happen. It did happen. It all took place before that generation passed away. And most skeptics are not able to deal with that. They're not prepared to deal with that argument. And that same kind of argument is with Christians. I think they're in a stupor because they're always believing that they're living in the end times, because they're seeing wars and rumors of wars and false prophets and false teachers and so forth, and we must be living in the end times. So then you need to give them a history lesson and saying, look, every generation believed it was the last generation using the same passages. There's got to be something wrong with our exegesis if it can't be that specific.